the identification of EGFR mutations and ALK rearrangements were seminal events. While the whole population of patients with lung cancer has a risk of having these, so even patients who have heavy smoking histories have a 5 to 10% chance of having EGFR mutations. The most common place we see EGFR mutations is certainly folks who never smoked. And we know that tumors from patients who have heavy history of cigarette smoking have a much more complex genetic profile and maybe a bigger challenge to target with these targeted therapies. That said, I think one of the things that drives cancer, one of the things that makes it happen, is individual driver oncogenes. There are a whole plethora of other mutations that happen in these genetically complex tumors from, say, cigarette smokers or patients with UV-associated melanoma. But I think whether those other lesions can inhibit a targeted therapy that hits the right driver is an open question. And I think I would use BRAF mutant melanoma as a great example. We think of melanomas and lung cancers as having very similarly complex genetic profiles because they're associated with environmental toxins. So for the case of melanoma, UV light leads to lots of genetic damage, leading to very complex tumors. In cigarette smoking associated with lung cancer, those tumors are also very genetically complex. But in BRAF mutant melanoma, we have a target, BRAF, and when we give a single targeted therapy, we can actually shrink those tumors significantly and keep them under control for a while. That's provided insight to that cancer, but it's also likely why we're going to have a challenge when we want to take the next step to go from controlling for a short time. The next step would be controlling for long periods of time, many years. And I think that genetic complexity makes that hard. And then, of course, our ultimate goal is to cure these cancers. And again, that genetic complexity makes it a challenge. But for cigarette smoking-associated lung cancer, I think there are some recent insights. So, for instance, we're beginning to see BRAF mutant lung cancer as a good target for BRAF inhibitors. In work that we published a few years ago, we've actually found that BRAF mutation lung cancer is more common in cigarette smokers than in folks who never smoked. So those patients may benefit. And then finally, the immune therapies, which I mentioned as potential next steps, next approved agents for lung cancer. These immune therapies don't really care whether it's a genetically complex tumor, and they don't care about the driver oncogene. And so, in fact, these genetically complex tumors may have more antigens and may be a better target for immune therapy. So we'll look forward to seeing whether that holds up or not.